Still reeling from the shock of last week's announcement by DECC that ROC support for large-scale solar farms will be cut, Paul Barwell, CEO of the Solar Trade Association, takes us through what happened when the news broke.
4 reviews, plus let's not forget the FITS review back in 2011. I mean, the solar industry has fought back, it does bounce back, but you can see how long it's taken from 2011 to where we are today in terms of the domestic market. I mean, that was a really, really tough sector. And people are now only starting to feel confident enough. We're not seeing the deployment levels roof in the same way that they have in the past. So that is stable and that is unaffected by all the events that have gone on. I think this is the first serious kick in the teeth for the large-scale sector. But don't forget, we have investors now who are going to be seriously perturbed by this. Solar has the lowest hurdle rate, the lowest IRR of any of the technologies. There is only so much room that it can go. It's bounced back from the anti-dumping scenario with a price undertaking. I mean, it has recovered. So, am I confident the solar industry will survive? Yes. Do I think what has happened is fair and just? Absolutely not. And the most frustrating thing is because we built such a good, close working relationship with DECC and other stakeholders that we provided them very honest data in terms of cost projections, in terms of deployment, and it does seem to have been ignored. And that's where the industry is saying it's politically driven. The whole concept around monster solar farms seems to be utterly unjust and unfair. And this is an industry which ticks many, many boxes for government. The 6 to the big 60,000. I mean, all of those things, the most popular technology, it just seems utterly bonkers that this is happening right now. We had a sort of a trade association meeting first thing before the news was announced, because it's price-sensitive information that went on. We then organised a meeting with 5 key members on the large-scale side with the Secretary of State. And to be fair to the Secretary of State, he knew we weren't going to be happy. He understood our issues. Was he listening? I think he was listening. And he has committed to work with us to fix the policy framework around movement to CFDs. But he didn't address the issues around grace period. He didn't address the issues around those stranded assets and what's going to happen with them. There is no assurance whatsoever that we will have a sufficient budget or we'll have a proper route to market. So the mood is pretty bleak from a large-scale sector. I mean, the silver lining, we're still allowed to deploy 4.99 megawatt solar farms under the RO. Well, people will need to adjust their business models, but it's not that easy. If you've got a 30 megawatt farm out there, there is no way you can just suddenly convert that into several 5 megawatt farms. It just doesn't work like that. So, this is why it seems politically driven to remove what the Conservatives might consider to be monster solar farms and now lots of small deployment. But the economics might start working for these smaller solar farms as you move further north and even up into Scotland. The economics are there. It's just a very competitive market, and people are going to have to adjust their business models. I think they can, but it's going to take a little while. Right now, the industry is reeling from some desperate news that's gone on, and we need to sort of get feedback from the members, get feedback from the industry, and decide what action we need to take.